So what we're going to do is mix the ground beef with the yogurt. We've got fresh chilli, we have the water from the onion. We're going to sieve that into this mixture and only use the water. Salt, pepper, and we're going to mix it all together to make our perfect kebab. And although this looks like mashed potato, it is purified onion which I've just done through the blender. And what we're going to do now is extract the juice from this onion, because that's all we need. So there we go, we're going to mix it all together now. This is just the juice only from the blended onion, and that's what it looks like. Obviously I've done it very fine, you don't have to do it that fine, but it just takes a little bit longer to extract it through wire sieve it does. And you really want a fine sieve so none of the lumps come through. So here we have our mixed ingredient, everything we put in the minced ground beef. What we're going to do now is wrap it up, leave it in the refrigerator for around 2 hours to allow everything to marinate, and then we're going to freeze it overnight. So we're going to make the slaw for our doner, and we're going to use half a lettuce, we're going to use half of cabbage, red cabbage. We're also going to use 1 large onion. I've got 2 small ones here, which is pretty much the same, and we're also going to use 1 carrot as well. So what I'm going to do is finely slice the red cabbage so it's manageable on the bite as well as within the sandwich. So I'm going to make enough for 2 meals tonight, and then obviously keep some for another meal later on. And you want to chop this down to how you like to eat it, i.e. your bite size. You don't want shoelace like strings of red cabbage sticking out your mouth, then you would need to cut it shorter. Let's just get rid of that. So it's now been chopped down to biteable sizes to go with our doner, and this is going to be the base on the bread or on your flatbread. And now we need to chop the onion into semicircles. You'll have to persevere with me because I have a finger injury from a garden tool accident, and I'm struggling to cut whilst I've got this in a bandage and a glove. And what we're going to do with this onion is mix it in with the red cabbage. We're going to put a good coating of sea salt on it, and that will allow everything to sweat out of it and dry both the onion and the cabbage out, giving you that lovely crunch on every bite of your doner. We've now separated the onion so it can be mixed with the red cabbage. So let's just pop it into there. And we're going to do the grated carrot now. So what I like to use is a spiralator, and this allows me to get perfect strips of carrot every time, and then I cut it down to bite-sized pieces. And all this is just a little gadget with teeth on. Let's see if you can see that, like a serrated tooth. Around about £2 from your local supermarket or grocery store. Well, that's how much this was anyway. And we're left with that kind of effect. and then like I say, you just chop it down to bite-sized pieces. And this is going to go in our slaw as well, along with the onion and red cabbage. But what we're going to do first, I've washed the red cabbage. We're then going to put the onion with it, and all this ingredient is in the comments down below, guys. And then we're going to cover it in a generous portion of sea salt before we add the carrot, and that will kind of dry it out so we get that perfect crunch, like I said. So a generous coating. This is a fine sea salt, and what this will help everything to do is to dry out and make this slaw very crunchy on every single bite. So we're going to have the doner meat on a flatbread. This is going to be the base, and then we're going to make a red sauce and a white sauce. One's going to be the hot red sauce and the white is going to be the garlic one. And like I said, all the ingredients is down below in the comments. And the same with your iceberg lettuce, or whether you use a leaf lettuce. Nice bite-sized, chopped and rinsed under the cold water. And again, this is going to go on your flatbread with your coleslaw, or should I say with your carrot and your slaw, your red cabbage and pickles. So we're now going to make the red sauce. This is the equivalent of a chili sauce which you would get on top of your doner kebab in the UK. I'm going to purify this into a paste. Then I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of yoghurt. I'm also going to add a pinch of hot pepper paste, some chili flakes, black pepper, vinegar and garlic as well, and I'm going to purify the garlic, and then I'm going to make that into a paste. Be a little bit spicy tonight because my wife's eating this as well and she doesn't like hot spice, so I'll show you that process now. So let's chop this first. We'll do it this way so we're not left with any seeds. Use as much as we can from the bell pepper, and there we are with the stem, the middle part of it. And it doesn't matter how we chop this anyway because it's going into a blender, so as long as it fits in, depending on the size of your blender. Let's get that to a paste now, and then we'll add the remaining ingredient. So whichever type of blender you use, then we just want it into one of them. Let's see if I can get that in the shot. And we want it as fine as possible, like a paste. Right, and there's our red pepper paste. So we'll get rid of this. So I'm now going to add 2 tablespoons of Greek yogurt. Doesn't matter which yogurt you use. There's my tablespoons of yogurt. I'm also going to add my hot pepper paste, which is my chili flakes. I'm I'm only going to add 1 tablespoon of them, and these are the mild ones. So that's probably more than enough, and this is going to be the equivalent of the chili sauce you would normally have on a doner style kebab. I also want a teaspoon of vinegar and a teaspoon of tomato puree, so I'll just get them now. So just guessing here, probably a teaspoon of garlic puree. Let's get that lid back on. A dash of vinegar, a little bit of zest, and then we want a pinch of black pepper, which is that, and a pinch of salt. I'm going to go back to this ground sea salt, and then it's just a case of mixing it together, and this is going to be our hot paste, red paste for the doner. And it'll probably only be me who gets to eat this. So I'm going to set this aside, and then we're going to make the white sauce. So what I've done is chopped some cucumber whilst the camera's been off, because I'm struggling with my pulley finger. So I'm making the white sauce. So there's the cucumber. We're also going to add, let me get a bowl. We're also going to add 4 tablespoons of yoghurt again. Now you can double or triple or quadruple all this ingredients based on how many people you're catering for. I'm just making enough for an evening meal tonight and probably some more in the morning for breakfast. So also 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise. So I'm going to guess this, that being 1. Excuse the noise. That being 2. And a dash just for the bits which stuck to the spoon. And we're also going to add 4 cloves of garlic, but in my case it's going to be the tomato puree again. And like I say, this is the garlic like sauce. So that being 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep the vampires away. And I'm going to add some spring onion to this as well, just to give it colour. And this white sauce is going to be the equivalent of your garlic sauce. All the ingredient is in the description, like I said, and I'm going to add just a little bit of green leaf from the spring onion, and this is what we're going to spread on our top of our bun, or in my case a flatbread. So here's all my ingredient now, which is the white sauce, and I just need a spoon. I'll just get rid of this one and give it to my assistant, who'll probably lick it. Exactly that. So whereas on a UK style doner kebab we would put white sauce on being garlic sauce, the red sauce which I've made here, it's going to be just the red sauce, and the idea is you put the red sauce on the bottom and it seals the bottom of the bun if you were making it in a bun, and it stops any of the butter or grease leaking into the bun and making it soggy. The white sauce goes on the top of the bun, or inside the top of the bun, and again it stops any of the grease oil making the top of the bun soggy. And if you toast your bun, then you would have a really crisp bite along with the white cabbage, the red cabbage, the lettuce and the grated carrot and onion. So this is quite thick. You can always add a little bit more mayonnaise. And with the red sauce, if it just seems a little bit too runny, get some tomato puree like I just have off camera and add that to it. My partner's just tasted this and she said it's absolutely yummy, but the proof is in the pudding. You'll have to make it and taste it yourself. So here it is, the frozen doner meat. As you saw in the beginning of the video, half a kilo of ground beef, 2 tablespoons of yogurt, milk, large onion purified, and only the juices from the onion went into this. The thyme, the tablespoon of the half teaspoon, tablespoonful of the pepper, along with salt, black pepper, and where the description says butter, that is when we're cooking it in the frying pan, which is coming up very shortly. The onion juice, the onion water, is used in Turkey mainly for, well, it's used an awful lot, but it's mainly used for tenderizing meat. So if you ever purify an onion and get the juices off it, or the water as it's known as, you could actually coat your meats, your tough meats, in that, and it will allow it to tenderize, just like the Chinese use baking soda to actually tenderize their meat as well. So let's get into this, see what's happening inside. And the trick to cut a perfect slice is a good solid knife. Now we can only cut from the edge, because that's going to be the least frozen the more it stays outside of the freezer. Get rid of all this plastic. And we've got a nice flat bottom, so that allows us to make nice thin slices without the meat rolling. But if you make it extremely round like a sausage, you would have to cut yourself a flat section in order to not have this roll and injure your hand like I have with my finger. It is recommended when you make this that you actually put it in something like parchment paper or baking paper. What you don't want to do is what I did, where I actually wrapped it in cling film. So we're going to cut bite-sized pieces off like that. Maybe a little bit thicker, but it's just fresh out of the freezer, because remember, it's only minced ground beef, and once it hits a frying pan, if it's not thick enough, it'll fall apart. So let's move it from this glass counter so I don't go through it. So once you've managed to cut through your somewhat frozen doner meat, which you've made, do your portion, cut it with extreme caution because it is frozen and you need to be careful. So create yourself a flat side and then cut through the doner meat as you're doing it. Bag this back up, back in the freezer. You'll probably got enough salad left over for another meal, another day, and then when you're ready, get this back out the freezer. Same process, slice off the end and produce nice pieces of doner meat like that. So we're going to cook this off now and get that in the freezer. So we're using 2 pans to cook this, and that way we're not overcrowding the pan and we can easily turn it over so it's not all sticking to each other. If you've got a bigger pan, even better, but I'm going to cook one portion in one in the other, then it's easier to keep turning over, ensuring even cooking. So we're just waiting on our flatbreads now. So here's our red cabbage with red onion and carrot, lightly salted, and it's going to be lovely and crunchy. Our fresh green iceberg lettuce. We've got tomato and gherkin. The meat's cooked here, which we're going to serve up in the flatbread, along with a white sauce, which is the equivalent of the garlic sauce with cucumber and chives. And then we've got the base sauce, which is going to be the chili sauce as it would be served in the UK. And this has got red pepper, chili flakes, a few other things, but all the list is in the comments down below, so please have a look at that. And whatever size you want to make, then just double the ingredient as well. And if it runs a little bit too thin this, then don't forget to add that tomato puree anyway. So get ready for the grand finale. Like I said, the grand finale. So we're going to fold this over like a calzone. So my red sauce is going to go here on the bottom. And this is the equivalent of the chili sauce, but Turkish style. And then my white sauce, which is the equivalent of our UK garlic sauce with tomato puree in. So you're still going to get that garlic taste. But this is based on a Turkish recipe, Turkish doner. And then we're going to have this salted, squeezed onion, carrot and red cabbage. And I've already tasted this and I could sit with just a fork eating this alone. And then we're going to go some green iceberg lettuce. It's all cut down to bite size. And then we're going to go the doner meat, which you've seen us cooking. And as you've seen in the beginning of this video, the ingredient which went in, this tastes absolutely amazing. It does. You can really taste the chili flakes, the yoghurt, the pepper and everything else. And then I'm going to top this with one of my favourite fruits and vegetable, the tomato, along with some pickled sliced gherkins. And this is going to be the ultimate party food. And I think that's about it. I don't think I need anything else. Let's just do the fold. Right, one perfect flatbread kebab style. And let's get that victory shot.